Welcome back to another video. My name is Abby, and today we're talking about the 3 things you must do to change your identity. Now, before I start that, I got an announcement. I've recently changed the way I am taking payments if you're interested in working with me one-on-one, and that is they're now donation-based, meaning there is a $30 minimum payment. And if you feel led to leave more, you can do it in the tip section. If that's all you can afford right now, that is totally fine. Either way, I want to offer more support and work with those of you who are interested in working with me to help you break through the limiting beliefs, break through the cycles and the monotony of your current situation so you can start living the life you want to live. Now, this will be a temporary offer, so if that link below is still live, it is still available. So back to the video. What are 3 things you need to do to shift your identity? First, let's think about why you'd want to shift your identity. Well, if you're in a current situation, right? Maybe you're making $40,000 a year, but you want to make $100,000 so you have more physical resources, and you have better peace of mind, and you feel like you can afford and do the things you want to do. Well, those are 2 identities. The $40,000 you, the thoughts you think, the way you are, what you think about yourself, your belief system, and the way you'd see yourself making $100,000. The biggest part about this is how you see yourself, what meaning you're giving yourself, what value you see on yourself, because you know the manifestation, really all that means is it's revealing in your world who you think you are, how you're supposed to be treated, what you deserve. And you basically look through the lenses of your eyes because you don't see the world as it is, you see the world as you are. So you're looking and perceiving only of the things that are in alignment with your identity, with how you see yourself. So it's very, very important. And if you change your identity, if you change how you see yourself, your world is going to dramatically and automatically change. Think about people who have lost a lot of weight, right? They are no longer that person, or maybe somebody who used to live in their car or had a really rough go of it and couldn't afford a home. And then all of a sudden they're living in a mansion, right? They can look back and say, that's a whole different person, right? Like the way they think, the way they operate is completely different. So all that is called is an identity, how you see yourself, the way you think, the way you act, the way you feel. Dr. Joe Dispenza calls that a state of being. So the etymology actually of identity is state of being. Something also too that you are the same with. So do you relate to not having enough money, struggling? Are you the same with abundance and things working out for you, you getting valued, you getting appreciated? What are you right now relating to? What are you out right now looking out into the world, the groups of people, the experiences, and saying, yes, I am the same with this. We are on the same vibration. We are in alignment. We are in the same frequency. And you might not be thinking that consciously, but every time you make a choice in alignment on the same wavelength, in that same identity as that same state of being, you're identifying with it, you are saying we are the same, and you stay there, and you'll keep getting that over and over and over. So the biggest thing here is, what do, right? You want to make a change. Yes, I want to have that secure relationship. I want to be the person who is in a loving relationship that's secure and, reciprocal, where it's give and take both ways. Somebody shows up for me and I show up for them, or an amount of money, or a dream job, right? Whatever it is, there's an identity that you have that you'll need to shift from where you are now to it. And again, if you think about manifestation, that identity is simply you changing how you see yourself. If it's a shirt and I'm wearing a blue shirt right now, but my ideal version of me, that identity is wearing a white shirt, right? And it's not about the shirt color, obviously. It is about the representation, right? So that reflection that I see back to me is no longer the blue shirt, and potentially blue is representing the undesired experiences. They've gotten you here now, and that you're going to let that old identity go, and you're going to embrace that new one. But you have to have that new identity before you see it reflected back to you. That's why it's so vital. So first thing you need to do, number 1, is see what you currently relate with. What are you the same as? See what your current identity is. What are you currently right now identifying with? The more you start identifying and seeing, oh, okay, yeah, I don't really see myself as very valuable. I see myself as constantly finding people who aren't going to be giving back to me because I'm the one who always has to give. If I don't give, then I don't get. So starting to listen to yourself, starting to observe yourself, starting to be an investigator of yourself is the first step. Because if you don't know where you are, how will you know where you want to go and what do you need to change? Because just like a roadmap, right? A GPS location, what is your starting point? What things are you going to need to change? What directions do you need to take a left? Do you need to take a right? Do you need to go straight? Do you need to turn around? How will you get to that end destination if you don't know where you currently are? So the first thing you need to do is start becoming aware of your current identity. As you start even understanding and giving yourself that insight of, oh, okay, I can totally see why I'm seeing that reflected back to me because I think that I'm not valuable, or I think that I'm going to get rejected and I'm having some self rejection. So I find people through my RAS that are actually going to repeat back to me what I already think. And it's not a real value of myself, it's simply a meaning I gave myself based on a past experience. And since I gave myself that meaning and value, I can actually change it. So realize that. That's the first step. The second thing to do is start actually investing and creating and visualizing what new identity do you want? What state of being? Who do you want to be that in that same alignment with, right? It's not people, but it's an experience, right? It's a way of being in the world, right? State of being. How do you want to be? What thoughts, what feelings, what experiences, what attitudes, what actions are you going to be taking? What new you are you wanting to see? If it's about a physical expression, right? Like if you are overweight right now and that new identity is fit and healthy and can do whatever they want, right? Oh, they're going to go to the beach, not afraid to take their shirt off to get in their bathing suit, or maybe it's an amount of money, right? You know that, oh, wow, you know what? A vacation would really be nice. I'm going to go book something or be able to just go whenever you want. You have that free time, or maybe it's about that relationship, right? What does that new you, that other version of you, that new identity, what does it look like? The more you start to visualize, Dr. Joe Dispenza calls this mental rehearsal. The first thing you'll do is start looking out in the world. Well, who's already doing it? Who do I admire? Right? Success leaves clues. The people who are already doing or in that identity that you want to experience, they're going to leave clues. They're going to show you or say stuff or give you information. So you don't have to start from scratch. Start using that. And again, you stepping into that new identity, realize it does not make you more. It does not bring you value. It does not bring you worth. Because you value yourself more, because you see more worth in yourself, you're able to then step into that new identity, new vibration, new way of being, because you're in the same alignment, because you are now relating that is now the same. You no longer relate to the old, you relate to the newer version of you. There's no wrong in any of these. Just the same as I'm turning a dial on a radio, I wouldn't be like, oh God, that station's really bad. I can't believe that. I'm going to change over here. You're changing simply because you want to. That's the experience you want to have. So you get to freely do it. However, until you become aware of where you currently are, you won't be able to maneuver or change. So that awareness is vital. Then start using visualization. Thinking, okay, what does it look like? How would I be? What this is going to do is actually going to allow your frontal lobe to look back into the circuitry and experiences you've already had and start to weave together things you're seeing out, the ways of being you want to have. It's going to look in your old experiences, see if you've ever been that way or any experiences register. It's going to essentially braid together something new. It's essentially, that's called an intention. So you have an intention now, kind of a general view, vision, way you want to go with this. And just the same as anything in life, right? You're like, oh yeah, let's go that way. And you're going on your journey and things might evolve and flow and not quite be the exact way you want, but a lot of times they're actually better as long as you're willing to take that first step of faith. And realize your imagination is key here. And you're always using your imagination. If you identify right now as don't have imagination, realize that if you're in a situation like, oh, I can't do that, what if, and then your mind can just go off and list about 10 things of potential dangerous things or bad things that would happen. That's your imagination. However, you're using it to construct an imaginary scene that hasn't happened yet of things you don't want to happen. realize you can take that power back and start creating and utilizing its creative power to construct things that haven't happened yet that you want to experience. The choice is yours, which leads us to our third point. What's the third thing that you need to do to change your identity? Simply decide. And that, the etymology of that word is to cut off. So basically, you're going to decide, okay, this is who I am now. You're going to start to look at that. You're going to start to see who you need to be, what you need to change, what view of yourself you need to have to be able to meet that on the same level, to be in alignment with it, right? You're going to cut off the old identity, no longer look through that old lens. The key here, though, is because awareness of the way you are being right now is critical to make the changes in your identity, recognizing when a situation, a person, a circumstance might trigger you to be in the old way of being. Bring awareness to yourself, breathing in like, okay, I have a desire in my body right now to respond the old way. What would the new me say? What would the new me behave like? What would that look like? And again, staying with yourself, no longer betraying and abandoning yourself for that old way you no longer want to be. But bringing that awareness and that breathing technique, and realize too that as you're visualizing this new state of being, this new identity, it might feel unsafe in your body. That doesn't mean it's unsafe, it's only because it's unknown. So calming your body and having different routines and tools that are going to help calm your body and let it know that it's safe. Because stepping into a new identity, if in the past you've had negative experiences, that your unique expression or being your own person or getting what you want was dangerous because maybe it meant you didn't have connection with the people around you. Realizing now, oh, I'm safe. This is actually for my best interest. This is something I've always wanted to do. This is something for me, and I'm going to find supportive people, supportive situations that are going to reflect me choosing me and showing up for me back to myself. And I am safe, and this is good. And the old way helped get me here, and I'm grateful for it, and I now let that go. I cut it off. I decide that this is my new identity. This is now what I am in the same with. Utilizing those 3 steps will help you see yourself different, help you see where you want to go, and make the decision for yourself to cut off the old and step into that new way of being, that new state of being, and that new experience that's going to be reflected back to you. I really hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, click that little thumbs up. It really helps this video spread. And if you haven't done so yet, go ahead and click that subscribe and join this community. We would love to have you. And I love you all, and I'll see you in the next one.